Good evening and welcome to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. I am Ryan Magnuson and I'm joined by Ryan Grover and head coach Mike Castellano. The Middle Creek Mustangs are coming off a 35-21 win over E.E. Smith. Coach, that was certainly a game, a tale of two halves. What do you have to say about that effort?
Our effort in the first half was not very good. In the second half, it was a lot better. Our execution wasn't great in the second half, but we played like we wanted to play a football game. In the beginning, I thought we just showed up and expected to win, and obviously against a good team, you can't do that.
So what was the message going into halftime there to the team?
This is being broadcast, right? No,
the G-rated version.
We focused on what we need to do. Instead of thinking we could just arrive and show up, it was basically a message of either let's go play football or let's just get on the bus and go back. Mm-hmm. There's no point in going through the motions, and we talked about some honest aspects of football. We've got on defense, I think we had 16 guys say were seniors, and we had to tell them, look, some of you guys, if not every single one of you guys, not get a chance to play college football. These are the memories you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids about one day, and do you want it to be this way after tonight?
Let's go ahead and jump into some highlights here.
Okay, the first clip we're going to show from Friday. Screen, you can see obviously the bottom part of the screen where their alignment is, and we get a great kick from Michael Rubino, and we recover the onside kick, except we can't hold it and kind of fumble it back to him. Again, you can see here how it goes to the left side of the screen, and again, Michael Rubino does a great job with that. I give him a hard time because he's not a kicker. He's a really good football player, and he helps us out a lot. We just have to recover those. Second one right here is the first drive, and they've driven a long way, and Uric Sands picks one off. Like him right there to get a block from Tank, number 24, and head down the sideline and score. But it's a big play because we weren't playing well at the time, and we get a chance to flip the field, get the ball back to our offense. You can see right here Brendan Weinberg on a blitz. Gets pressure. The quarterback can't step into the throw, and he kind of fades away, and it leads him to underthrow it. And then you can see here, guys trying to lead up for him right there. Wish we'd made a block, but York Sands does a good job. Gets the ball on the outside arm here, but we tell him never to run across the field where the fat guys are because it hurts when they hit you. So like stay away from that. This is Rasheem Eaton with a huge play. We're proud of Rasheem. He had to go to a funeral for a family member earlier in the day, and comes back for pregame meal basically right before he got on the bus and made a big play that changed kind of the momentum of the game at this point. And you can see good protection and top part of the screen. You should actually be able to see the catch better from this angle. Brant underthrows it a little bit, but we have great protection. There's a throw. You see on top of the screen, he actually catches behind himself a little bit and fights for the football. The next play, we're down by the goal line. Brant does a really good job of keeping this play alive. Juby is down here on the bottom left. Elisha kind of gets knocked over a little bit with the coverage, and it's covered initially, but he keeps it alive, makes a good throw under duress, and scores a touchdown for us. And it's kind of when things started going our way a little bit. And you can see an effort play by a couple guys on this play. Does a good job keeping his feet in at the end. Ashton Mitchell on the screen. You can see Ashton's got some speed, obviously, and he's down here at the bottom part of the screen. Get a good throw from Brant, catches it in stride, boom, hits it there. We have OL down the field blocking for us. We thought he was going to break this. A lot of people don't catch Ashton Mitchell when he runs because he is a fast dude, but that guy had a good angle on him, and you can see it from this angle better. Some of the blocking downfield, and Ashton making guys miss downfield to again flip the field for us and have a huge play. The next one here, we're actually sorry. Repeat. Okay, this is Ashton Mitchell again. I'm sorry, on the screen pass down here for a touchdown. Coach Bordeaux kind of does a great job of calling our offense, and here, he has a motion in, and we get a screen backside to the one-man side, and obviously he makes a guy miss, get a great block there, and you can see the OL downfield blocking. Nathan and Bobby do a great job. They're the left tackle in the left part of the screen, and you can see them doing a great job getting in front of their guys, walling them off, and making sure that we scored an easy touchdown. The next play, we're actually blitzing for the left part of our defense. Luke Gray here is blitzing, and we give Luke a hard time because his nickname used to be Charles Manson because he loved to hit people. We're trying to teach him to play in the scheme, and here he starts on a blitz. He reads the passes coming out, and he stops, retraces, and gets his hands up and actually has a pick six, and I think he was probably more surprised than anybody other than his dad that he actually caught it and scored. Not a good job playing the cut block there, but luckily we do get a pick six because the guy makes an athletic play. And this is Elijah Perry. People are starting to learn his name a little bit in the area. Great job blocking by the OL. It's a great job, but Elijah again scoring. We always love to see Elijah score. He's an excitable guy, and you can see here how good of a job the right side of our offensive line does, taking over. Connor does a great job taking over, and Elijah makes guys miss. But Elijah Perry, I don't think any of our coaching staff gets tired of seeing highlights of him. He's just a great young man who's worked his butt off, missed half of last season with injury, and right now he's the third leading rusher in the area and has 399 total yards in 2 games. And that's not including Stewie Fine, who's our next running back, who has over 100 yards, and then we have another guy who has 40 yards on the year. So Elijah's doing a great job, but he's not the only one doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think people, they see you line up in a spread formation and they kind of get fooled. They figure that you throw the ball in every down, but I mean you can run effectively, as Elijah shows from that set.
It helps when you have good coaching on the offensive line and running back and good play calling, obviously. But it really helps when you have an OL. It takes a lot of pride in it. Those guys, they bond together. They do a great job. They take pride in other players getting the recognition. And then, obviously, we have some really good running backs and a really good running back coach. So we're excited. When you run the football, it obviously can take away from the other team's momentum, kind of breaks your back. And I remember 2 years ago we played, I think it was Southern Durham, and we threw for 230 yards. And Tim Stevens calls me from the News Observer and says, "Man, you guys are throwing the ball over the field." And I said, "Tim, we threw 13 passes on the night. We ran for 340 yards, and we called 25 runs." So perception and reality is not always the same, but we like it when we can run the football.
Yeah.
You spoke a little bit about the running game and a little bit about consistencies these first 2 games. Outside of the running game, what can you hang your hat on so far in the season?
We have to get better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing.
Well, outside of getting better, what can you expect from this team on a Friday basis?
I don't know.
Anything yet?
No, nothing yet. Last year we talked about it. It took till game 5 till the team kind of defined who they were. Mm-hmm. At this point, we're in game 2. We've had a lot of scrimmages and obviously inter squad stuff, but just seeing what we do on the road, how we recover the week after at home, and those type of things, you don't know. We have hopefully figured out every Friday, starting again this Friday.
Well, Coach, we'll see you later and preview this Friday.
Thank you.
Guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
Looking very suave.
Beautiful Italian.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach John Trump. Coach, thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Sir.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So through the first 2 games, can you give us an idea where this defense is at right now, where these linebackers are at?
For through 2 games, it's really tough to to give a real good feel for where we're at, my goal is to really have them ready by the 6th week. So through the first 2 weeks, we got a lot of work still to do. We're pretty young. We have 3 new linebackers out of the 4, and the one that's returning is a junior this year. So just a lot of work to do with them.
And going through these highlights, you guys are able or have been able to capitalize on some turnovers. Is that one of the strengths, or is that what you're trying to focus on?
Our focus is to create as many turnovers as possible. That's kind of how we got back into the game last Friday. The first week didn't create as many turnovers as I would have liked. The goal is to get 3 turnovers and 3 to 4 3-and-outs, which I consider turnovers.
Yeah.
That the defensive line has really created some problems for opposing offense. What do you think about their play so far?
I think they've been great. Obviously we have Terry and Anthony, and then we've been rotating a lot of the bigger bodies in the middle. Jay Sean Bryce has been kind of a bright spot for us, and someone that we hoped would be that guy, and he's turning into that guy. So we have 3 solid guys up front, and then we have other guys rotating in. So we feel that that's a strength that we weren't really expecting.
Every year is different as far as who you got coming in, and you mentioned that 6-week mark, and we're going into week 3. How do you move week by week to get to that 6th week, especially with you spoke on youth.
We've been going at this since February. So really now we're just seeing live bullets, and watching film this week was, quite honestly, it was rough to watch film from the first half of last Friday's game. So it's building on that and being able to show them this is what you did, this is what you need to do, and moving on from there. So having 2 games on film now kind of gives us what we need to be able to coach them up.
Mm-hmm. So coming up this Friday, we got Smithfield-Selma. What can we expect from that offense?
From their offense, I'll leave that to Coach C.
Keep it tight-lipped. Well, Coach, we do appreciate your time, and we do appreciate what you do for our team on defense.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, guys, you're watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Block.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by the SWAC first team all-conference kicker / punter, Michael Rubino. Michael, thank you for joining us tonight, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Could you start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself as a player and a student, how you got to be the kicker for the Mustangs?
Well, as a student, I've been on the honor roll about 3 or 4 times since my time at Middle Creek. I actually transferred from Athens Drive after my freshman year of high school. I first started kicking footballs in 8th grade. I also play basketball, and I've just been kicking ever since.
Yeah, so you have an offer on the table right now from a college, correct?
Yes, sir, App State.
Oh, yeah, so obviously playing at the next level is a goal for you, so that's something you want to pursue?
Definitely, yes.
I mean, a guy like you're we've talked a lot about, the special teams and their importance, within this team. How do you cope with kind of obviously being the guy who, gets that started? It starts with the kicker.
I like the pressure. I feel like in order to be a really good kicker, you gotta sort of welcome that pressure and be able to deal with it when you're faced with it. And we had some situations last year where that was that was needed for me.
Yeah, so to kind of put us in your shoes there, if you're walking out onto the field for the last play of the game for a kick to win the ball game, does your mentality change at all, or do you try and keep everything the same?
No, it's the thing about kicking is you gotta, like, no matter what the circumstance is, you gotta do the what you know you can do, and I know I can step out on the field anytime, make field goals. This repeatability, basically.
And going back to last week, what do you think kind of was the difference between the two halves there?
Well, as soon as we got off the bus, our body language was just not good at all, and I could tell that it was going to be a rough, at least first part of the game. At halftime, we really, like, a couple of leaders on team got our teams focused together, and we came out and really delivered.
And I know this feeling because I personally can identify. The coach likes to say a few things at you and give you a little bit of a ribbing. How do you respond to that?
I find that really annoying, and I don't like it.
Good answer. Correct.
Correct. I don't like it either, Coach.
Yeah, I see him getting at you up here too.
Well, obviously, good luck this Friday, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Once again, guys, you were watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is a Sports Block. We'll be right back.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by Creek Crazies co-advisor Henry Harden.
What's up?
Sir, thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining us once again.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what your role is as co-advisor.
Co-advisor, my main role is to kind of keep the Crazies under control as much as possible.
Not too crazy.
Not too crazy. And then to just make sure that, I guess, everything runs smoothly and they know where they need to be. Apparently, some of our Creek Crazies didn't feel like they needed to show up today. So we're going to have a long meeting about that.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, this is on air, right? I'm going to do like Coach Castellano.
Yeah.
I'm going to have like a halftime speech with them, and we're going to get things back on track.
How closely to a athletic team do you treat the Creek Crazies?
We're out. We got 2 a days. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
I don't play games. We're out on the beach. We go and we work in the sand. It's tough. Like a lot of resistance.
Yeah, it's a lot more than I thought went into it.
Oh yeah.
And what brings you back? Obviously, you sat down with us last year. What keeps you coming back? Into this role and want to be overseeing the Creek Crazies.
I actually really enjoy working with the students.
Mm-hmm.
Being a teacher, I teach math, and so I see the students sometimes at their worst. Math is like, a lot of students struggle when it comes to math. So I get to see the students outside of that element. So it's actually really fun. And just to let loose, honestly, that's what it is. Being in the workforce, you got to be so, strict about stuff, but to actually be able to have fun is really good. So I do enjoy that.
Yes, sir, and they certainly do show up on Fridays.
Yes.
Friday nights, that section is packed. So do you guys take pride in trying to affect the ball game when the other team has the ball? And
Oh, definitely. I know the first home game, it was so exciting at one point that we almost messed our own team up because we got so excited that Castellano had to kind of look at me. He was like, keep them down because they had to get the play out. And so, but it's just kind of part of the game. Like, it was such a good play that we just got too excited. So I look forward to it this Friday against Smithfield Selma. So being able to run the table on them too, and let them know where they're at.
Obviously, you have student leaders
Yes.
to go along with yourself. How closely do you work with them, and are you guys planning things on a weekly basis, or kind of what does that relationship look like?
Honestly, this year is different because last year I actually had a few of the students as students in my class, and so I was able to kind of have a different relationship already. And so this year the leaders are new, and so I have to build kind of that relationship with them. But I'm in their group message all the time. They're teenagers. They text a lot. But I do enjoy it because I'm able to stay in the loop on things. And they're a good group. They were actually really good leaders. It was natural because they came to me. They didn't know me. They came to me at the end of last year and said, I want to be a leader. And they gave me their number and stuff. So that was kind of a big plus on my side to say, oh, this is going to be a good group. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Is there any, before we let you go, is there anything that we can expect on Friday from this group?
I will let our leader, Riley, come talk about that, one of our leaders. He's going to have some things about what's going to be expected and how to dress coming that day. So
Right, there you go.
I don't know if I'll be totally dressed down, but, tie, NC State tie.
Hey,
Got to rep
nothing
state.
wrong with that.
Well, they are blacking out this Saturday. So
Yes, go back.
Back in black.
well, thank you for joining us, and
Oh, thank
we'll
you
see
for
you.
having
We'll
me.
see you in force on
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, and I'll have the beard out next time.
All
Trust
right,
me.
yeah. We'd appreciate that.
All right.
Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by senior Creek Crazy member Riley McConnell. Riley, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
One of the few Creek Crazies that showed up, apparently.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks.
Of course.
Lead by example.
Yeah, there you go. So tell us a little bit about yourself, both as a student and a Creek Crazy member.
Well, I've attended Middle Creek all 4 years. I'm a senior. I love being involved in athletics. I try and go to as many games as I can, try and stay, try to academically challenge myself and still go to as many games and, be there for my team because it's my school.
Now, are you one of the leaders of this group?
Yes, sir.
So how does that look for somebody who doesn't quite know? Being a leader of a student section. What does that entail?
Well, I guess it's like you got to be open, you got to be friendly, you got to be willing to, do whatever it takes to get them to come. I mean, that's what it takes. I'm willing to embarrass myself to no end, just to get freshmen there. We got to hype up our boys. Those are our guys on the field. We want them to win.
Could you do something silly right now to get them to come?
Yeah.
It is live.
I don't know. I'll let you think about that. We'll come back to this.
All right.
But yeah, we'll save that for the end. Do you have, so you've been here all 4 years. Do you have a favorite moment so far?
Yeah, it was definitely beating Garner in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, it's
that
hard
was
to beat,
without
huh?
a doubt.
And so, what can we expect? Coming into this week on Friday.
Well, we're gonna get a W. I'm nothing less. I am 100% sure, and I trust my boys on that field 100%.
You're part of this team. It feels like.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we do appreciate you coming out. And do you have anything that you could do?
Yeah, or what's the wardrobe going to be looking like this Friday for people who don't know?
It's a beach out, so
Beach out.
A beach
anything.
out.
I can
beach
get into
pool
that, yeah.
floaties, goggles, bathing suit. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt and some flip flops, maybe a fanny pack. So,
fanny pack.
I guess we'll have to see it. It's all a surprise.
Next time you come and join us on the show, I need you to be an image.
Yeah, we
Oh,
could have
I
beat
will.
out tonight. You should have let us know, man.
Of course.
We would have beat shit out too.
Yeah.
I'll bring you guys something.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you out there on Friday.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by teacher/honorary coach of the week, Brandon Warren. Mr. Warren, we go way back now. You were one of my favorite teachers back in the day.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You were one of my first students when I was at Middle Creek about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Do y'all
so
need a moment?
we just had
already
it.
have
It's done.
Yeah, we
It
have.
passed.
Yeah.
It went. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming out tonight. And just tell us a little bit about how your career at Middle Creek has been since starting off then.
Yeah, so I've been at Middle Creek about eight and a half years now. I actually did my student teaching there back in 2005. I'm born and raised in Wake County. Lived in Wake County my whole life, a town down the road we won't name. But went to school there, went to NC State, and then I got hired at Middle Creek, and I love it there.
So, honorary coach of the week. What does that feel like when, that's brought up to you?
Oh, it's definitely an honor when Coach contacted me and said that I was one of the names that the players had chosen to be the honorary coach. It felt real good. I love teaching. I love having student athletes in the classroom. They bring a lot to the class. I appreciate the time they put in class and out of class with the time management and doing all the extra work. So it's pretty cool.
So you've seen the football program kind of grow to what it is today. So how does it feel to be a part of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been there 8 years. I go to a lot of the games. I used to go to a lot of the away games. I have a 1-year-old at home now, so I don't get to go as many as I want to. But if I'm not there, I'm definitely tuning in on Sports Block.
There you go.
Look at that plug.
Yeah. You can pay me later for that. But, I mean, I've seen the program grow leaps and bounds. I mean, I love the atmosphere of the Friday nights there. I've really seen it grow, not only as a sport and the level of competitiveness, but just the community involvement and the fans there on Friday night. It's really gotten to be an awesome atmosphere.
You've seen a lot of games over these past years. Can you bring a moment or or two forward that you can kind of think is that was some of the top moments that you can.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, I like to go out to the game and bring my family out there, and my dad likes to come out with me as well. And as Riley said, the playoff game last year against Garner, when it was like 30 degrees or 28 degrees, huddle. I mean, by the end of the game, you didn't even know what temperature it was. It was pretty hype and loud and just an awesome atmosphere. I went home and I couldn't go to sleep. Had to tune in on Football Friday, and I think by then it was already off, but
yeah.
I checked out all the highlights and things like that, and it was just awesome. So, but there's been a lot of good games against Fuquay. The past, not last year, but I think the year before in the playoffs, there had a game against Fuquay, and it was real close, and or it was the end of the season. I think it was to determine who was going to be conference champion a couple of seasons ago.
Yep.
And I really enjoy it.
So we got to throw an NC State question at you before you leave too.
All right,
so how many wins does the Pack get this year?
Oh man, I was kind of having a heart attack on my couch on Saturday. I was like, "Come on, Pack, don't do this to me."
Get used to
Every
that.
game, it seems like they want to make it closer than it should be. But I'm looking forward. I got to give me one of those jerseys and helmets coming up. Pack in black. That's going to be real nice. But I think they can definitely improve over last year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can with their schedule they got, the out of conference schedule and conference schedule. But I'm looking forward to it. I think they'll get at least I think they get at least 6 wins this year.
I'll take the under.
As long as they beat Carolina, it doesn't matter.
There you go. That's the real deal.
Well, obviously Friday will be a pretty fun Friday for you. What are you looking forward to most on Friday?
Oh, Friday, I just can't wait to get the behind-the-scenes scoop of kind of what happens with the coaches and hang out with the players before the game, locker room, that type of thing, so I can see what goes on and all the hard work they put in, the athletes and the coaches. I know they put in a lot of work and preparation into the game and make it all come together. They have a plan in place. The athletes buy into that plan. If they stick with their fundamentals, things like that. I'm just looking forward to the whole atmosphere of it.
Well, once again, congratulations on your award, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thank you very much.
Once again, guys, you're watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block. It's live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are joined once again for our final segment of the night by head coach Mike Castellano. Coach, we've been over pretty much everything from last week and this week of preparation. So, I asked what we could expect from Smithfield Selma on offense, and he deferred to you. So.
Well, that's a great question, and I know my non-slender friend over here wanted to know as well earlier, so I'll answer for him.
More to love.
Yeah. Okay. Get a haircut, too. What? Anyways, Smithfield, last year they kind of did some different stuff in the game that we prepared for on film. This year they kind of do a couple different things. One, they kind of branch out into a spread offense, and another times they try to get everybody toe-to-toe and kind of mash you a little bit. So we're not really sure what they're going to do. Obviously, we're trying to prepare for both and see what we can do from there.
Yeah, and we just talked to Mr. Warren, and he's really looking forward to this Friday. How did you guys select him as honorary coach of the week?
Well, we started, I guess this is the third year of doing it, that we asked the guys, and what teacher has made a difference or do you think would be a great honorary coach to be here, be around the kids, see what we do, kind of appreciate athletically what these guys do, and then look at the teacher, obviously, in a different way and build a relationship. And his name was one of the first that came up. At that point, I said, okay, that's a good idea, and I reached out to him, and we spoke. And today he came by and was talking about how he's going to be here tonight and be excited about it. And I said, football is my favorite sport, and I went to Garner. And I just stopped. I said, whoa, man, if you'd have told me that, you wouldn't be doing this. I promise you that.
It's a deal breaker.
I said, yeah, we're not big fans of Garner. But, Mr. Warren's a really good guy. And the one thing I enjoy about doing the honorary coach of the week is I get to spend time with a teacher that I normally don't get to spend time with. Mm-hmm. And if the kids appreciate who they are, they're usually really good people, and we end up appreciating them and building a better relationship, friendship-wise with our coaches and that person. But Mr. Warren has become quickly, until the Garner comment, one of my favorite teachers at school because he actually is a weatherman. So if you ask him to forecast, exactly. He told me every time, we're not going to have school in 2 days.
Yeah,
we're going to miss 3 days. And he's been accurate and good about it.
Yeah, I don't even watch the news anymore. I listen to his forecast.
Yeah, we're excited about him doing. We actually asked him last year initially. I believe he had just had his baby and couldn't do it. So we're lucky he can this year. And again, he's not going to live down the Garner comment. I promise you that because our staff. Your actual comment was today, we'll talk about this later behind closed doors where our staff was, I pull for Garner unless they're playing Middle Creek. So just want to put that out there. If he doesn't make it out of here, I understand why. But he's a great guy. And we see, and the Creek Crazies might not be here tonight in numbers, but I will say they do a phenomenal job. We're glad to have them out here as well. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks ago, obviously, we got kind of emotional at the end of the Garner game. And, the the big thing we have is we have a great student section. It's just making sure that we understand sometimes when to cheer and when not to, but it was an emotional part of the game, and we're glad to have them there every week.
Well, we had a special moment over the course of this weekend. One of your fellow coaches and sports block advisors had a birthday. Did you have any kind words that you wanted to say about Mr. Wes Petty? You know, it only comes once a year, but it's very special. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
Well, first off, I appreciate Coach Petty, and we've gotten to know him very well. And the things, you know, I was talking to Dr. Rubino, Michael Rubino's father, and he has a great father and a mother, and he's affiliated with NC State, and just good people. And by the way, Michael, if you thought yesterday's practice was hard after that comment earlier, wait till we go to tomorrow, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But again, don't be sarcastic to the guy with the whistle. It never works. But, no, Coach Petty's created this, and I was explaining to his parents earlier how, you know, whether we have 10 people here or 2 weeks ago and we had probably 200 people here, this right here show is watched in tons of states around the country. And college coaches, you know, say, hey, I want to take a look at Michael Rubino. What is he like character-wise? And I'll say, hey, you want to hear him talk, go to YouTube, pull up, you know, Sports Block. And Coach Petty created that. And he spends a lot of time away from his kids and his family to be here, and we do appreciate him. I will say this, though. I never knew that when it's your 50th birthday, they give you that day off of work. So I didn't know he got Friday off and actually first block today because for his 50th birthday. So we congratulate him for that.
What a tribute. What a tribute.
Great man. He deserves every word I say.
Well, Coach, one last question about Friday. You mentioned in the previous segments about inconsistency. What type of things have you been focusing on this week? And I'm sure that these are kind of the same things that you focus on every week, but is there anything different going into this week?
We're focused on tempo and maximum effort. You know, the first week we gave great effort. Everybody saw a name on a jersey and they wanted to beat them. And in life, you're not trying to win one situation. You're trying to win all of them. And we just got to get – we told them last week, we don't give a crap about who another school is, what the kid's name is. It's all about challenging yourself. You're really playing against yourself and how good you can be. So this week the challenge was tempo, you know, and just be competitive and execute as fast as humanly possible, having it mean something to you. And before I forget, this was also our Challenger game, which is the Challenger program. It's basically the Miracle League for football and cheerleaders in the area. And David Salmon and his mom were active in it, and father, and it started a tradition 3 years ago that carries into this year. So we're excited to have the Challenger program there as well. You know, again, because of what Coach Petty has brought to the table with this coach's show and our affiliation with Ruckus, every year we take money from one of the coaches' shows and donate it to the program, like we do to with Make-A-Wish for Coach King. So we're glad to be affiliated with them, and Coach Petty is obviously involved with building that relation stronger through this.
Well, you have anything else?
I think that wraps it up for me.
Just a W, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're going to try for. You know, we made the comment the other day. Our program is 3-0 right now. We feel like the worst 3-0 program in the state. So we're going to hopefully JVs go out there and do well on Thursday, and hopefully Varsity do well on Friday. And I do want to appreciate you for making it here this week too, so I don't have to be up here telling bad jokes for an hour.
I had my bye week.
Yep, good for you.
Coach had a 1-year career and he's now done.
Yes.
I went
0-1. Yes, I went 0-1 and I'm done.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight and every Tuesday night for us.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Guys, you were watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This was the Sports Block. We'll see you next week.